Community Language Learning, or CLL, was created by Charles Arthur Curran, a professor of psychology, and Paul Laforge, his student. This method was inspired by the humanistic counseling of Carl Roger, which consists of one individual, the counselor, assuming that he or she is able to see the internal frame of reference of the client. Paul Laforge says that the foreign language learner's tasks are to apprehend the sound system, assign fundamental meaning, and to construct a basic grammar of the L2. He argues that communication is more than just a message being transmitted from a speaker to a listener.
The speaker is at the same time both subject and object of his own message, and in the exchange we need the feedback reaction from the destinee of the message. The interaction between learners are unpredictable in content, but involve exchanges of affect, and the interaction between learners and knowers are initially dependent. In theory of learning, CLL advocates a holistic approach being both cognitive and affective. This is called the whole person learning, which will succeed if it follows an acronym SART, explained as S security, where the learner needs to feel secure so that he or she enters into a successful learning experience.
A, which means attention and aggression, where the learner shows what has been learned for self-assertion. R refer to retention and reflection, where the learner reflects about the information internalized and becomes a part of the learner's new person in the foreign language. B. Discrimination. Students should discriminate the similarities and the differences among target language forms by listening to themselves and the teacher carefully. They should also listen to discriminate if what they say is similar or different from what the teacher says.
The teacher can successfully transfer his or her knowledge and proficiency in the target language to the learners, which implies that attaining near native like mastery of L2 is set as a goal. Specific objectives are not addressed. The syllabus is topic-based and it is most often used in the teaching of oral proficiency with some modifications in order to be used in writing. A CLL syllabus emerges from the interaction between the learner's expressed intentions and the teacher's reformulation of these into suitable target language utterances.
Community language learning includes activities such as translation, where the learners form a small circle and whisper a message using L1. Then the teacher translates it into the target language and the learner repeats the teacher's translation in the second language. Group work. Learners may engage in various group tasks such as a small group discussion of a topic, preparing a conversation, a summary of a topic for presentation, a story that will be presented to the teacher and the rest of the class.
Recording. Students record conversations in the target language. Transcription. Students transcribe utterances and conversations they have recorded for practice and analysis of linguistic forms. Analysis. Students analyze and study transcription of target language sentences in order to focus on particular lexical usage or on the application of particular grammar rules. Reflection and observation. Learners reflect and report on their experience of the class as a class or in groups.
Listening. Students listen to a monologue by the teacher involving elements they might have overheard in a class interaction. Free conversation. Students engage in free conversation, including discussion of what they learned as well as feelings they had about how they learned. Learner roles. The view of the learner is divided into 5 stages. First stage, where the feelings of security and belonging are established. Second stage, the learner begins to achieve a measure of independence due to his or her new abilities. Third stage, the learner speaks independently and may need to assert his identity.
Fourth stage. The learner is secure enough to take criticism. Fifth stage. The learner works upon improving style and knowledge of linguistic appropriateness. He has become a knower for a new learner. The specific teacher's functions are keyed to the five developmental stages. In the early stages of learning, the teacher operates in a supportive role, providing target language translations and a model for imitation on request of the client.
Later, the teacher may intervene directly to correct utterances, supply idioms, and advise on usage fine points of grammar. The student gradually grows in ability, and the teacher is responsible for providing a safe environment in which clients can learn and grow. Materials. Materials may be developed by the teacher or the learners, such as scripts for dialogues and mini dramas. In early accounts of CLL, teaching machines such as the Chroma Core teaching system were used, but contemporary CLL classes do not use them at all.
The error is treated in a non-threatening and no immediate way. The teacher repeats the correct form without calling further attention to the error, and the owner of the error due to the respectful relationship with the students. Community language learning is the most responsive of the methods we have reviewed in terms of its sensitivity to learner communicative intent. It should be noted, however, that this communicative intent is constrained by the number and knowledge of fellow learners.